There are some players who simply play football, and then there are those who read the game as if it was already written. Zinedine Zidane didn't just play the game, he seemed to remember it, like he'd already lived it once before. Every touch, every turn, every decision almost felt preordained. Zinedine Zidane's understanding of football isn't something that can be measured. Whether dictating the game from the centre of midfield or from the sidelines, Zidane's influence on those around him is not only clear to see, but it's also etched into the history books. As someone who paints iconic football players for a living, I've always been obsessed with movement and control. How some players just seem to be able to slow down time. Zinedine Zidane, to me, has completed the game of football. If Pelé was the godfather of football and Maradona and Messi are football and royalty, then Zidane is undoubtedly the master. Tall, graceful and impossibly calm, Zinedine Zidane didn't just run past defenders, he glided past them. Every touch, control and passage of play felt like it was already pre-planned. When I say Zinedine Zidane completed football, this is what I mean. World Cup winner as a player, European Cup winner as a player, Ballon d'Or winner, La Liga champion, Serie A champion. As a player, won it all. As a manager, won it all. 3 consecutive Champions League titles, a feat that not a single manager in history had done before and will probably never do again. And all of that in his debut season as a manager. Zidane walked the full path of football, from raw talent in Marseille to immortality at Madrid. He didn't just complete the game of football, he elevated it to new levels. There's a rare poetry to me in the way Zinedine Zidane understands and plays the game. It's like his understanding of space and time was somewhat innate, almost as if football was part of his DNA. It's what artists call timing, and Zidane, he had it in his bones. He knew exactly when to turn, when to pass, when to strike, and later he also knew when to step back. Twice he left Real Madrid on his own terms, a man completely in control of his own narrative, just like he was in control of the football pitch. But where did it all start? How can one man have such an influence on the world of football? From the crowded streets of La Castellane to the brightest lights in football, Zidane didn't just rise through the game by force, he almost cut through it like a knife through butter. Some players calculate their options in real time, but for Zidane, it almost seemed like he had it pre-planned, as if the script was already written in his head. Before the ball arrived at his feet, he already knew where it needed to go next. He didn't just respond to defenders, he drew them in as if he was a puppet master playing on a stage. The Marseille turn wasn't just a trick that Zidane was known for, it was almost like choreography. It felt like Zidane was dancing to a tune that only he could hear, every moment in rhythm with the unseen. Moments like his volley in the 2002 Champions League final, they seemed pre-rehearsed in the mind of someone who already had the game mapped out. Players couldn't rush Zidane or rattle him, because Zidane wasn't chasing the game, he was executing his own plan. When Zidane moved into management, it wasn't a transition, it was more a continuation of his mastery. He brought the same sense of timing, anticipation and balance to the sidelines as he did so graciously with the ball at his feet. He didn't scream from the sidelines or come up with radical tactics. He was executing a plan that he already understood. Each substitution was pre-planned. Each tactical tweak was a quiet and deliberate shift, done exactly at the right moment. Zidane's teams often look simple, but like a great piece of music, the genius was in the structure and the space between the notes. And of course we can say that when Zidane took over Madrid, they were already a fantastic team, which is true. However, to win one Champions League final would have been impressive, but to win it 3 times in a row, back to back to back, that is the mark of someone special. And as we all know, if you're a football fan, it takes more than just great players to create a great team, and especially to win amazing honours like the Champions League. 3 Champions League finals in a row was not just dominance, it was mastery. And behind it was not chaos, it was a calm control. And even as a Liverpool fan who was on the receiving end of this dominance, I can still appreciate how impressive this feat was. Real Madrid is a club of extremes, pressure, politics and an expectation to perform at the highest level. And yet Zidane thrived in this environment. From the moment he arrived as part of the Galactico team in the 2001 season, Zidane became a fan favourite, obviously because of his grace and his ability, but mostly because of his demeanour. And when Zidane returned as manager, he wasn't just welcomed, he was accepted and he was trusted. And that trust is not given by Real Madrid fans easily. It's a rare trust that is earned through grace, discipline, and years of delivery. The players at Madrid when Zidane took over instantly respected him, and not just because he was Zidane, but because they knew he understood them and he understood the club. He knew exactly when to push and when to protect his players. And the fans, of course, they adored him. Elegance, excellence, and execution under pressure. No outbursts, no ego, just pure results and history. Zidane didn't just scream from the sidelines. His calm presence in the team mirrored his playing days, knowing exactly what to do in the moment before it even arrived. So what does it mean to complete football? To me, it means doing it all, playing and managing at the highest level, and also making it look inevitable. I'd have to look into this, but Zidane could be one of the most decorated football players and managers of all time. There doesn't seem to be anything else he can achieve in the game. Maybe manage France to a World Cup title, who knows. But Zidane's story isn't just about medals, it's about method. He played like a conductor with a perfect memory. His genius was not loud, it was precise. As someone who loves football and also art, I've always seen Zidane differently. He was never just a player to me, he was a moving masterpiece. His movements, his decisions, they seem to carry the same thought and precision as a painter on canvas. And that's why I've recreated Zidane and will also recreate him on canvas as well. Because for those of us that watch the game not just with our eyes, but with our hearts, Zidane is more than just stats, trophies and titles. He's what football feels like to me when it's perfect. This piece of art I've created of Zidane is not about likeness, it's about timing, it's about grace, and it's about Zidane. To me, Zidane always felt like a painting that had come to life. Not the kind that you stare at, but the kind that moves. Every brushstroke already laid out dynamically in the artist's mind. Every time Zidane moved on a pitch, it felt like he was tracing lines he'd already imagined. No hesitation and no second guessing. There are players who play the game of football and there are managers who master it. But Zidane, he seemed to know the game before it happened. And that more than anything, to me, is what it means to complete football. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy this video as well. If you'd like to download any of my artwork for free as a phone wallpaper, including this Zidane volley that I've drawn today, then just hit the link in the description below and check out the full collection. Have a boss day.